Hi, I'm Sandy Shtab with Healthy Systems, and I also serve on the Work Comp Central Comp Laude Advisory Board. And I'm excited today to be talking with one of our Comp Laude honorees from 2020, and his name is Adam Driver. Hi, Adam.
Hi, how's it going? This is Adam Driver. I am 33 years old, and I got hurt about, 2014. So it's been, 6 years in August? Or that's when it happened, was in August. So yeah, happy to be here, and hopefully I can help out in whatever shape, way, or form I need to.
Great. So what I wanted to hear from you today, can you tell me when you first heard about Comp Laude and the event that you were part of last fall?
I heard about it from our Craig, when I went out to Craig Hospital for my yearly checkup. I actually heard it from the Craig Hospital work comp people. That's pretty much, that was last year that I heard of it. And then they asked me if I would be willing to, be a candidate. And I was like, yeah, I guess, I don't really have to be willing or not willing, I guess, but I would be honored, to throw my name in the hat. And then from that point on, the process just started. So yeah, it was pretty much just, 2000, December of 2019, I think it was the first time that I heard about it.
Yep. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the workers' comp system? Before you were injured, did you ever know what workers' comp was?
Yeah, I knew what work comp was, not in a first-hand basis or anything, but I've had friends and stuff and that have had different businesses in the aspects that they had to have work comp insurance. So I've heard about it, but before I got hurt, I didn't really have much first-hand experience with it, and yeah, ever since I have been hurt, it's never really failed me too much, which is kind of nice. When a person is in need, it seems like that the work comp system has helped me or worked for me specifically. So it was a blessing, to say the least.
Adam, what exactly happened to you?
I was in a work accident that it was out on, the place of work was called the Crane Trust. It's like a nature conservancy, and we were building a buffalo corral because we were bringing bison back onto the native prairie, and kind of seeing what effects it may have on the native grasses. Long story short, we were building this corral, and we were setting corner posts, and while I was basically measuring the posts, we were using a payloader to kind of set the posts in the sand, and I was underneath the payloader, or not underneath of it, but the bucket was pushing down on the post, and the bucket ended up coming off, dumping dirt on top of me, and then the bucket landed on top of me as well, kind of entombing me like a grave. Everything went black. It was just dark because the bucket had basically fell on top of me, and just pretty much, I didn't get knocked out or anything, but everything went black because it took all the light out.
And you had a spinal cord injury, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I was standing, and then when it was all said and done after the accident, I was sitting, and they said that is kind of similar to what happens. The pressure just isn't enough, or there's too much pressure on that T12 vertebrae, and it bursts more or less because of the weight.
And you wound up ultimately at Craig Hospital?
Yep.
What was your recovery like at Craig?
It was good. I mean, it was a big adjustment, obviously. You go from being a person that's walking around doing sports and doing all sorts of stuff, and then you are now in a chair and you have to make an adjustment. The therapies and all that kind of stuff that they did at Craig was phenomenal, not only for me, but for my family, for my coworkers and such, or not coworkers, but my family, my girlfriend, and all that kind of thing. It was really good in that aspect of it.
Your recovery was a long process, and
yeah.
I suspect there were many ups and downs during that time. Can you tell us a little bit about how you kept a positive attitude? Maybe who were some of your inspirations that helped you through this process?
Well, I didn't really have a whole lot of ups and downs in the aspects of getting any depression or anything like that. I'm a pretty hard-headed type of individual, pretty stubborn. So doing that kind of stuff on my own was kind of where I was like, okay, I'm super driven. I've done everything in sports kind of on my own, and I'm, willing to more or less bust my ass to get back to walking and get back to feeling I can do things again. And that was kind of one of the things that I looked at, is just put your head down and grind and see if you can make the best of what you got going on. And I haven't really had any inspirations just because I haven't really been around it. I haven't been around much in that aspect of people that are in wheelchairs or, just people that, need help very much.
What do you think others could learn from you and how you went through this process? Because you said, you've got determination and you are very mentally strong. How do you think that you can maybe help other people who might be going through something similar? Do you have any advice?
More or less just keep a very positive attitude, don't get down on yourself just because the limitations that you have currently. Just be blessed that you're still alive. In a lot of aspects, it comes down to that. I don't think I should have been alive in the aspects of, my accident. There's no reason why I should be here still talking to you guys. But there's a reason. God has blessed me with a second chance kind of thing. And, you got to make the most of it. And I hope that that's something that I'm doing, in terms of helping others, talking to people, talking to similar or people that are in similar situations has always helped. I'm always willing to communicate with anybody that has any questions on anything that ever, would come up. But the biggest thing I can say is just keep a positive attitude, and hopefully you have a good support system on the outside, because my family has been nothing but fantastic since the beginning of this. So that's helped tremendously as well.
That's excellent. Outside of your family, who really helped you through this process?
Well, work comp has helped a lot. My insurance people, in the aspects of, not really knowing what to expect. And, Craig Hospital has helped a lot. They got me ready. I was there for 2 months, and they kind of got me ready to pretty much create what this new normal is going to be, and kind of what to expect. And obviously doctors and other professionals that have helped me along the way too. But for the most part, my family and friends have been the big ones that are there every day. And of course my girlfriend as well, but I consider her family. So,
speaking of your girlfriend, I noticed that you recently became a social media influencer and had posted stuff about your girlfriend and what you were doing for her. Can you tell us about that?
I don't know if I call myself an influencer by any means, but we kind of had a chance to give everybody a look into what we do kind of on a daily basis, and kind of, what we've done since I've been injured, which, incorporates pictures and that kind of stuff. We are, well, it's done now, but we worked building a house together pretty much. And I've had a lot of carpentry experience in the past, and so that helped build this house pretty much by ourselves, with a little bit of help. But for the most part, that's kind of what we did for the influencing aspect. More or less showing people that your life's not over once you're in a wheelchair. You can still do things that you've done in the past, and if you have somebody there to support you, or even if you don't, you can still get out there and do a lot of things, because you're the limiting factor that is going to tell you whether or not you can do it or you can't do it. And I pretty much told myself, don't be a lump on a log, because you can either get busy living or get busy dying. One of the two. So,
great quote from a great movie. So,
yeah.
Adam, aside from the physical differences in what you can do now as compared to before your injury, are there any other changes that you've made in your life, maybe positive things that have happened since then that maybe wouldn't have happened otherwise?
Maybe not so much with my family all the time, if you can about imagine. With other people, I figured out that patience is a big thing in life, and if you don't have that, which I didn't have that before, I didn't have it to the extent that I have it now. It makes a huge difference in your life, to be honest with you. And just kind of like I was saying earlier, the aspects of kind of like a second chance. God's kind of given me a second chance to live, and hopefully I can make a difference in the kids' lives that I'm currently coaching in track and field and that kind of thing. And hopefully show people that don't give up on yourself. Don't, just because you're limited, and in a wheelchair, doesn't mean that you have to give up on other dreams that you may have had. So I don't know. It's one of those things, I guess, that you just don't really think about until you're in it, to be honest with you.
Well, I appreciate those thoughts, and if there's anything we've learned in 2020, it's to be grateful. It's to be grateful, even sometimes for the simplest things, right? And it sounds like you've made a tremendous recovery, and sharing your story is so important for folks like me and other people in the workers' comp industry. We do what we do for you. And it's great to be able to actually see someone who lived through the experience and came out on the other side of what could have been, it is a life-changing event, but could have been a life-ending event. And as you said, having that second chance, it does change your perspective. I really appreciate you for sharing your story. Thank you so much, Adam. Have a great day.
You bet. You too.